We're gonna get off that elevator music and run it with some super hype.
Super duper hype is hey. Make sure you don't forget it. Don't forget to mention. That was nice. Make sure you don't forget it. Once you start to feel it. Super hype. Hey. My runners and my joggers.
Are tight. Diamonds go hard. All that. What up, everyone? Welcome to the space tonight, Clonespiracys. We talk in the vision of really not only just the creative economy, just Clonespiracys, those things we don't see, but also kind of like what we think Artifact sees, what we think this ecosystem represents, kind of why we're all participating actively in this ecosystem. So hopefully it turns into a nice interactive community discussion organically. But if I have to talk through it, I will do my best. We're running it. I'm pulling up Beatles' tweet because he really hits an epic overview, and it's like every time I try and get through the full thing, I make it through like the first half because I'm so impressed and amazed that Artifact dropped Doge slippers, that it just kind of it takes me on an interesting tangent. We also have Remova. That's happening right now in the ecosystem. Aside from really that, I don't know if Artifact has anything going on right now. Make sure you unhub your crypto kicks IRLs if you haven't. That ends in about a week and a half or so. Dot Swoosh has a public mint coming up Wednesday. So 5:24. We don't actually have a time on that yet that I'm aware of, but those are like the quick rundown. So that is like the 2-minute overview on the ecosystem. Remova currently about to happen, I guess, at the end of the month here, and unhubbing crypto kicks actively currently. Like do it today if you haven't. There's really no better time than now. On that note, Artifact News has a poll out, and it says, when do you think the Animus reveal begins? More specifically, when do you think Animus egg owners can reveal the Animus within their egg or eggs? Would encourage everyone to participate in said poll. It's pinned up top. It's going to be a good one. Kind of curious what the ecosystem here thinks about the Animus egg reveal time. So honestly, y'all, we could go whatever direction whoever wants to go. These are about as planned as they sound. So I still got to find Beatles' overview. He replaced it with his mint, so it's a little bit hard to find, but I got it. I'm going to send that to this account. It's a little disconnected when you try and do things on your computer to your phone, but can't quite easily get it to the phone because I can't request to speak on the computer, so it's difficult to pin things actively. The other complicated thing is Beetle does not pop up on the Clonespiracys account. So that is another fun thing. But we have group chats and ways to work around it. And that's what we do on the fly. So I know we've hit this overview before, but I love it. I mean, the amount of time and sheer effort that Beetle went through to compile something like this for this ecosystem to reference is amazing. I don't think there's a better word for it. So he literally starts off, what is this, November 2020? August 15th, 2022. It's even earlier. It's way earlier than that. That's just Whale Shark showing off the MGXS crazies that he picked up. The X Evolutions, which are absolutely forever grailed. So November 2020 kind of looks. February 2020, the Cyber Sneakers dropped. That's probably where maybe we just started, is February 2020, when Artifact photoshopped Cyber Sneakers on Elon Musk and Kanye. And it's kind of an interesting piece of information there, because, like, how do you grab attention in an attention economy? You Photoshop your custom kicks on Elon and Ye, and then you ask your people to vote below, because that pumps the comments. So it worked. 11,000 likes, 209 comments. That post got Artifact a lot of attention, I think, because people are sitting there saying, what are those? Kind of the same way it looked when Braun wore the Genesis, which was super cool. I'm sure that got a lot of engagement as well. Just don't have that number handy. They dropped a PlayStation 5 sneakers. So, I guess this whole walkthrough, it goes from custom sneakers, porting into digital wearables, to collaborations with Atari. They even did a 420 giveaway, named it Meta Haze, and Crypto Kush, which you got to give them some proper credit on that one. Then they launched Not in Paris High Snobiety collab on Super Rare with the hoverboards. Excuse me on that one. Still working through a little stuff, but I got water and a mute button, so hopefully it'll go well. They then did kind of a creator challenge back in the day. I don't know exactly what creator challenge this one was a part of, but I think it was a way to kind of engage the community, boost the ecosystem. They did toy challenges, which I'm wondering if Boo has one of these, one of 50. It's an Artifact X Just Frederick. Thing looks pretty sweet. They got pre-Nike collections. This is May 2021 now, where they did the Punks project. Benoit actually just tweeted something about the Punks project the other day. I can pin that up top. Again, that's in the group chat. The animation on it is sick. That's kind of what Benoit calls out as he's talking about it. And this was like a collaborative effort with MGXS, which I think is pretty cool. It's slow to pin up top, but I hope it's pinning. And I hope I'm not rugged. So if anyone wants to come up and talk the vision of Artifact, and provide your insights on how you think it all connects together, open stage, wide open stage. There is no prep. We're all doing this live on the fly for fun part one. So then they did their Punks project with the sneakers. They actually forged physicals See, like Beetle even has y'all. Beetle pulls together the actual numbers that were redeemed, like LFG. Just letting Tevi on come up to the space. Tevi, can you hear me?
Yep. What's up? What's up?
Welcome, my
How's
friend.
it going, man?
It's going good, dude.
How's everyone in the crowd doing today? Like thumbs up, emojis, hundreds. I like it.
Yeah, get some activity going. That's what Tevi just said. Let's get some emojis. Let's get some vibes. Spam some shit.
Retweet the
LFG.
space. Retweet the space. Let's get
Yeah.
people in here. All that fun stuff. No, I'm excited, man. Like, like probably gonna derail this a little bit, but tomorrow's the day that my season 1 stuff is supposed to show up. So I'm like pumped. I'm very excited about this. Been a while. I was starting to lose hope that I was gonna get that email, that text message, and it finally showed up. And tomorrow's the day, so unless DHL rugs me, it should happen tomorrow.
What are you most
Tevi,
excited about?
Oh man, what am I most excited about? Like which item?
Yeah, which item? Are you
Uh,
gonna rock them? What's your plan?
I've got. Well, at the time I had a robot, so I got everything in the robot collection. But I think the item I'm probably the most excited about is my alien long sleeve shirt. I've been, yeah, that like out of all the things, like I hunted for that one specifically. Probably paid way too much, but it's one of those things that like you find a way to justify it. Like, and I love the design of it, right? Like, I love space related things, and that alien, like, especially the long sleeve one with like the flying saucer on the front, is just like amazing. So
So I love it too. Whenever you said that, honestly, I was like, oh, you're gonna say like something normal, but Alien, that's hype, bro. I can't wait to see it.
yeah, pretty pumped about it. Like that's the one, um, and I've got some reptile stuff too. Like, yeah, I think like those are like the items that I kind of went, which I was actually surprised because the reptile stuff ended up selling for like prices ended up dropping towards the end, so I get a pretty good deal on that. Um, but
I
yeah,
wish I wish I got some other things. Did you get the pants?
yeah, I got the robot pants. That's the only pants I got. So like I said, I used to have a robot clone, so everything that was robot related I got, except for the hat. Like I really did not buy. I got the regular Genesis CloneX hat, so I got that. I got, yeah, a couple of those, um, but yeah, I really didn't do hats. I'm kind of kicking myself now for not doing more socks. And now that people are posting about their demon clothing, and I own an ice demon, I'm actually a little bitter that I didn't get. Like, I honestly don't have any demon clothes. I have no demon clothes.
No. Oh man. But that's cool. Don't worry. I think it's cool that you have all these other stuff, and specifically since you have a demon and you're gonna like rock it. I hope like on your clone eventually you're gonna see the benefits of like just
Yeah,
having.
I think well, I mean, I got that's kind of, well, that's part of like the reasons why I get the Air Force Ones. Even though I was probably the biggest fodder of the Demon Air Force Ones, and I say it proudly, because I think when you're wrong, like if you're able to dish it out and throw it out there, you got to be able to kind of eat your words and come back, especially when you do a 180, right, and put it out there and be okay with it. But yeah, I
Yeah,
was the biggest
that's
fodder of
dope. You got the
the
demon shoes.
yeah. So I'm pretty excited about those. Mainly because I'm gonna be able to rock the hell out of them, and then the reality is Jack kind of shamed me into getting them. Um, so there's that too. You know,
I didn't shame nobody for nothing,
hundred
Tevi.
percent. Just put it out there. He was like, how are you gonna have a demon clone and not have the Air Force Ones? And then he was like, oh,
Bro,
but look, if you have the Genesis, because I was like, I already have the Genesis. Like, well, but if you have the demons, then you can wear the demons and not rock the Genesis or something along those lines. And I was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense. And then I saw the animation, and that was it. At that point, I was like, all right, well, how are you gonna have a Hellhound? Like your shoes turn into that, and not have the shoes. So I had to do it. So that's where we at.
bro, what if the shoes turn into hellhounds and they just kind of like guide your demon across the underworld? I know we got two proper demons up on stage tonight, arguably three.
No, we definitely got three. You know, but yeah, I mean, I feel like like when like these things take a life of their own, and we have Animus coming up, and it's like I feel like they're gonna do more than just be cool little video renders, right? Or animations for these tokens. I feel like they'll do something a little more, and I don't know what that more is, but if nothing else, they could evolve, and that in itself in the digital realm is pretty cool. So I had to have at least the shoes. And I actually love the design. Like after looking at them a little bit closer, like I feel like they're rugged, right? Like you're gonna be able to wear those and um yeah, and not worry about them getting dirty or creasing just because of the design on them and like how it already has like that cracked pattern to them. So they're perfect. I think I actually put a post up and I was like, yeah, you can wear through these from hell and back and I'll be just fine. Like they're built to take the abuse is what I feel like. So
That's also I commented on the hats. I think the best ones are the black ones because they'll take the most wear and tear. Um, so I don't think you're missing out on any other caps unless you got the black ones. I mean, I like all of them, but I think the black just like it's not gonna get it's not gonna get dirty. So I think a lot of people want to rock this for like the longevity. Um, and I want to see more. I want to see what people think.
Secretly, did you forge anything? And if so, what are you most excited for, sir?
So I forged the demon set and Murakami drip, but I got the jersey, the demon jersey. I think that's gonna be my most hype cop.
you know, the more I look at that, so it's funny, right? Because I looked at the jersey initially and I was like, that is fire. And then I went through like this is gonna be a long story, but I'm gonna make it short. So I looked at the demon jersey and I was like, that's fire. Like it's pretty amazing. It's the only jersey in the entire season one collection and it looks dope as hell. And then I went through the whole thing about, man, damn it, like it says demon on there. Like I don't know if I want to be walking around like with like a big ass demon, written on there. Like I feel like that might send the wrong message. So I was like, nope, not doing it. So I didn't buy it. And then the forge window closed and I felt pretty good about it. And I was like, yeah, like I don't mind it. And again, clothing starts showing up. My friend sent me pictures of like his demon jersey. And now I'm like, man, I think I messed up. I think I messed up. So I don't know where this is all going to go, but I'm excited for you.
It's pretty funny. So whenever the first forging was happening, Zaptio did he posted a demon jersey like for like a preview, and I commented something real quick, and he wrote back to me as like demon activity, like the name of the jersey, and that was like cool. So I'm excited to see like them doing something with the clothes, make like a activity quest. That would be dope.
Well, so and that's like a great lead into inventory and the rollout of that deeply anticipated I don't know upgrade to the CloneX ecosystem because inventory is where we can put on the wearables to our 3D game ready assets and put clothing, customize the look, change the vibe, put on the demon jersey because we're ready for activity. And it's like, what if we start equipping our different Air Force Ones, and like, let's just say if you rock in demon Air Force Ones, literally a hellhound is following you around, and like you get plus 10% on defense points, or 200% attack points. I'm just picking concepts right out of the air, but it's like we have the opportunity here with an entire equipable I don't know, inventory system to integrate multiple layers of gamified experiences that connect to the digital and then are amplified if the holder is also wearing the physical. Because if you link your physicals to your digitals and you have them all on your phone app, and then like the phone knows that everything's close enough to you to be like excuse me, to literally be moving to earn additional drip points or whatever on top of it. I mean, guys, this is limitless. And it's like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
So I agree, kind of, because I think down the line there's gonna be like teams. Like I think of it like Pokemon has like Team Rocket, and Ash has his team. I think people are gonna be able to like form some kind of like, if you have more clones, you might be more powerful. You might be entitled to more upgrades. You might be like get a quest faster. And I do think that's gonna happen. I think that one of the benefits is we're going to be able to drip out our clone, and it's going to make them more stronger, or do something very cool, like make them faster, or I don't know. I really don't know what we could expect, but I think we're so early. I think we're thinking 2 years in ahead. Also, I think that's like the patience we're going to see this all come to fruition. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man, I think that makes sense, honestly. And it kind of like to piggyback on what you guys were saying, but like with the CIRLs, and we know that they have, connectivity, right? Like through Bluetooth, and so between the NFC tag, the Bluetooth technology, the apps, I think there's definitely, and again, for people in the crowd that, like this is all speculation, so let's just keep that like super clear. But I think there's definitely a possibility there, right? In addition to the fact that going back to like the more items you have or the more clones you have, like Artifact actually has done that in the past, right? Where for like drops, where if you had like multiple clones, your chances were greater at getting in. There's like a bit of a multiplier there for people with multiple clones for incentive. So really, there's nothing stopping them from saying, if you go down the gamification route and you say, okay, well, if your clone is dripped out in full demon gear or full robot gear, or, pick X DNA, you have the full set, that gets you like a multiplier when move to earn is introduced. So now if you're going out there, you're, running around, you have your CRLs on, you have your full demon gear on, then that does something for you, right? Or when we start talking animus and we're able to like, because we kind of know like clones and like your clones will, and your animus will interact in some way, shape, or form. We don't know exactly how and how the whole thing will pan out and work out, but there should be some level of interaction there and influence there, right? So that could be one way that they build on that and kind of start rewarding, people who have minted all of season one and who have gotten a few different items within the ecosystem. And, where now you're truly building on, supporting the community that's supporting you back by actually buying some of these items. So I think it would be a cool, easy enough type of implementation. When that happens, I don't know. Does it happen? I don't know, right? But it would be one cool way to build on that, and and show the appreciation, I think.
Would be very cool to see them allow us to like upgrade our like equipped files. Like let's say we have this demon activity jersey, and like we just kill it, you know, like we do all the quests and then it just like starts exploding like demon wings, and like that's like a higher level now. Like my wearable is much stronger now. That would be awesome. Like get drip points and upgrade. Like that's all speculation also, but that's what you're making me think right now.
Well, guys, I just want to jump in on the topic of speculation because I think there's a lot of things that we don't know. And really, one of the core efforts of this group is to be a think tank, you know, to propose concepts of what could be based on what we know about what has been. So we can use facts to repurpose them to guide these theories because I don't feel like this is speculation in that sense. I feel like this is curated and well-informed theories that are based on, you know, the hope and the long-term vision of what this project represents to each of us. And I just think that's like this small niche thing. I just wanted to throw that out there because we are basing this off of information that's currently available to us, and we only have the information that we have to try and make an informed thought or theory about what is going to happen in the future to really help us all figure out, you know, why are we participating in this ecosystem, and whatever that looks like for each of us, it really comes and it's formed kind of organically as each of us talk about things from different viewpoints. So I just wanted to get that one thing out there. But I saw Spectre jumped up on the stage. We 4 for 4 on demons though. Let's go, squad.
Hey man, how you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing great. I just like the fact that you guys are speculating, you know, and talking about the future of Artifact. And one thing that caught my attention is I'm on Blender right now, and I've only been on Blender for like a week, so I don't know a lot about it. But when you guys mentioned about the inventory and being able to like drip out your clone and have all these other things, I believe that if Artifact eventually down the line, when they put in, you know, like a more easier way to like change your clones drip, or people will get more creative, because I feel like there's a lot of people that do not create with their clones just because they're scared of Blender being too difficult, or maybe they have a full-time job and their parents and they don't have enough time to go on Blender. So just having that implemented, and I that would get the community to engage way more and create more. And I don't know, I'm pretty excited about that. Like, I can't wait for the day where I can just go to Artifact, connect my wallet, put my clone, and let me just rock the Genesis today. You know that type of thing. I feel like that would be sick.
Spectre, I think you're spot on, man. It's that barrier to access, which it's the access barrier is really just the information and maybe the time that it might take to watch the 40-minute tutorial, or to, like, you know, just jump into Clone Tools and play around with it, because it doesn't sound like that much, but I mean, you could probably spend 2 hours realistically and be really, really good at Clone Tools and doing still frame renders with the base files of your CloneX. I would argue that you could maybe do it in 15 minutes, even from starting from zero. Like, they have made the 3D design process and the ability to render and pose and do lighting on Blender so incredibly simple compared to where it starts if you're coming in knowing nothing. So, like, you know, an encouraging note to anyone in the ecosystem is download your CloneX 3D files. Like, download Clone Tools off I think it's creators.artifact.com, but check the link always. Like, that stuff is really powerful and you can do a lot with it. But Spectre, I think you're going a great route where you're saying, like, you know, if you could just connect your wallet, boom, inventory, boom, I want to rock the alien long sleeve today, or the demon jersey, boom, done. And then, like, you port into some crazy on cyber in your VRM file or whatever 3D file that goes into whatever metaverse we end up in. They automatically pull your file in and auto generate your VRM. Yo, that would be fire though.
Yeah, I feel like game changing for a lot of people. I'm actually talking with my best friend. He's like, hey man, what is that thing that you got in your profile picture? I'm like, oh, that's a clone. And he's like, what the fuck is that? Oh, and I'm like explaining to him. And I did the Instagram filter. I'm working on the Snapchat filter now. And he told me like, oh man. And today actually he told me like, oh man, I mean, I can eventually buy a clone, but I don't see myself, spending all this time in the laptop because I kind of understood him in the sense that I get it, like he's a business owner, he has family and all this stuff. So having that inventory thing in the future, it's like, instantly you change your VRM. I feel like that would be like game changer and would make it more accessible for people that, they're not that tech savvy or they just don't want to like put in the time.
Dude, enjoy I haven't done the Instagram filter, but I did the Snapchat. Enjoy that because that for me anyway, it taught me how to connect textures to 3D models. And then I also learned if you just go into Microsoft Paint even, click on the black pen and just start drawing all over your texture, dude, it'll show up on your 3D file because that's all a texture file is a .jpeg file or a PNG or whatever. And like it just maps onto the 3D surface. So if you want to customize anything, this goes for anybody in the space, anyone who listens back. If you want to customize any colorway, any scheme, any design, all you have to do is modify the textures that are associated with that piece of 3D. And, it can lead to really interesting, decently satisfying results once you kind of fine tune it. That's just one means and method. There's a ton of different workflows to it, but that is the basic, and that's kind of where I'm playing at this point in time, is just learning how these textures combine, because like once we get inventory, the ability to equip and unequip a customized skin on a CloneX, like that's literally, they've told us specifically that that's coming via the Evo X mechanic and the skin vials with the crypto dunks. The entire point of that entire thing, the Genesis crypto dunk or crypto kick, I think it's called a crypto kick, but it's the Genesis dunk. That is built to be customized. It's unlimited colorways on the same silhouette on a collection of 20,000 that, just for the record, they were confirmed forgeable roughly a year ago. There's a tweet. I could probably try and find it, but it might be a mission. They didn't say when, but it's like LED OLED screens on a Nike Dunk Genesis. Just picture how insane that singular sneaker will be. It's like that would be something I would go for one to rock and one to stock because like just insanity. Anyway, I got off tangent there, Spectre. I know we were talking about 3D files and kind of customization and unlocking the ability to create with a CloneX and, making the file use case a little bit easier. Tevi, I know you jumped in, bro. Like you wanted to 3D design, and I know that was a main decision for getting CloneX. How has that gone, man? Like your animations are obviously becoming better and better and better, and you're developing your own skill set and you're creating lore around your clone, dude. It's fun to watch.
I agree. I think he's a little away from his computer right now, but wherever. He's got some fire that he posted, that on Cyber short. It's pretty cool. I wonder how he made that. But overall, everybody is killing it recently also. I feel like everybody goes out with their Blender files, and there's so many people that are there to help. You too, Jack. You kill it. I see that heavy.
Demon Gang leading the way. Creative Revolution.
Demon Gang. Everybody is revolting now.
It all starts in the underworld, sir.
I told you I'm gonna start the uprising. It looks like we're just shaking the world a little too hard.
Hey, in time, my friend. So yeah, we got the Artifact season 1. It's starting to get into holders' hands. It's fun to see everyone post pics. Compound is actually pushing a narrative right now. There's a hashtag that he's asking that everybody uses. I don't have the tweet available, but if you go on his page, I know that he has tweeted it. I would encourage everyone to participate. in that hashtag. Let me see if I can just find it on the computer while I'm doing this, because then I can at least say the hashtag out loud. Compound is not appearing on my search bar, so I might have to hunt Compound down and update the people on what hashtag we're using when we tweet out pics of us in drip. In drip we trust, something like that.
Oh, in drip we trust.
Is that what it is secretly?
I think so. Look at Dre's picture. Maybe he has it.
Does he have it?
I know he's definitely probably retweeting people saying it. Let me check. Also, I posted something last night, about like how you have like fashion houses like Hermes, and if you shop with I guess a shop, whoever like works over there, and you spend like $10,000, you get selected, like you could get a Birkin, you know. So I was thinking people who have like big collections could get selected to get more exclusive trips. Like a demon suit would be fire. With like collab with like Dior or somebody. That'd be insane. Did you find anything?
Yeah, I just found it. I pinned it up top. I retweeted with a quote tweet. That's what I was working on when you were talking about the. Is it Hermes?
Hermes? I think it's
Hermes. Yeah, my pronunciation on luxury goods is going to start wherever it starts here in 2023, and it's going to progressively get a little bit better and better as I become part of that bougie. But currently, we just talk to our friends on the internet.
In drip we trust.
Yep, in drip we trust. That's the tag we're using, everyone. If you get your custom, your season 1 drip, let's rock it. Let's use that tag. Let's get the people out there, letting them know that we trust the drip, because these are luxury garments. These are made to order. This is literally a supply chain revolution and going to change the way Nike profits at the end of the day, which is then going to push into the US stock market and probably global stocks. And then people are going to start to take note at the business practices that Nike has adopted. Anyway, that's a long way of saying this is big picture, everybody. This is probably the biggest of pictures that we could be actively participating in. And that's what we are supporting at the end of the day is this team to build out this vision that we have all, decided to collect pieces and parts within, because we believe in our cores to this extent that we want to participate on Twitter Spaces, right? We believe that deeply that we want to be a part of this ecosystem. We want to build in parallel. We want to build under the Artifact umbrella, next to it, over, above it, with it. That really is the entire goal here. And it's like Tevi or secretly one of you guys brought up teams for these quests, and you got me thinking it's like the Clone Force. When we were trying to get Clone Force to reveal or to start the Guardian phase or to progress to the next step, they actually had community quests where each different DNA of their stones, the Echo Stones, would go in, sign a transaction on, or sign a signature request on their website. And that was kind of the first on-chain group activity that really I had participated in, where it's a team-based, token gated experience. So then each team is actually participating against the others. And it's like, you only need 2 out of 60 or whatever alien stones to sign the transaction, but it's like, we got to find them, but they only need 2 people, but they're hard to find. Whereas the humans, you had to get 100 or 1,000 humans to sign a transaction, which you really rely on the numbers. So I could see questing with the CIRLs linking to different DNAs, which then can take on an entirely new layer of complexity and epicness when you blend Animus into the picture. So I know Tevi was saying earlier, it's like, we don't know how Animus are going to interact in this whole thing, and we don't know how inventory is going to act. And that's exactly right. We don't know. So like, that's all part of this think tank, this vision, the vision of Artifact is like, let's figure out how it all kind of connects and then see what other people think. And because I'm very curious in what other people think, that is why I kind of went to a slightly more recorded space. So like I recorded Fridays just for fun, recording this one, gonna do this for a little bit just so we can have the access to the information out there, because y'all, we have done a full year of non-recorded spaces at this point, and that is all. If you know, you know. That's all IYKYK. We got 2 recordings on the website, maybe only 1 right now, but we'll get the second one up soon enough. It's on Animus. It's amazing. I really loved that one. I think we could have kept going for another 2 hours and it would have been enjoyable, but Web 2 calls, and when those call, you got to answer because you're spending all your liquid on JPEGs.
So how I would think this would all like unfold is Animus is going to be insane. I think it's just going to be stages like every good story takes. So I see like this being like 1 or 2 years where like you see the Animus unfolding and the world just gets bigger and we just start exploring a new world. And maybe there's a quest that you could go find an Animus egg and someone gets rewarded one. You know, a wild Animus is on the loose. That'd be cool.
I mean, dude, Pokemon, like Pokemon Go, it was team red, blue, yellow, and then we all fought over gyms, you know, for control. But it's like if you had the gym, you didn't actually get anything. It's like you could technically own control points across a map and then have zone benefits, zone buffs for the type of clone DNA you have, for the type of Animus, the type of sneakers you wear, the outfit you choose to rock, that's verified that you're literally wearing it via NFC chips, and you have, you know, you're it's just crazy
And
how many layers we can add to this.
Pokemon has been around for what, 23 years? How long has it been around for? Like, it's huge. You know, that's what I'm trying to say also. Like, we're so early. That's what I'm hoping for. Like, at least like a 20-year, like I'm gonna be playing this. Hopefully, like this is like the coolest thing in the world. Future, we're bringing in their digitals. And whenever you said in Drip We Trust, I was thinking back to whenever they gave us the first Artifact hoodie with Nike on it, and Prez made those renders for everybody. So if you don't even have a hoodie, I think we could just go viral on Twitter saying in Drip We Trust and post that picture with those hoodies. Be dope.
Yo, and the beautiful part about that secretly is Prez is still making hoodies, bro. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, quick math, 9 months later, man's still pushing Photoshop edits like that. He sees new clone, who dis? He says, new clone, here you go. Here's a hoodie.
That's the best advertisement I think Artifact could ever get in their entire life, because he's still pushing the Genesis hoodie to every single person that's just coming into the ecosystem. They just got in, they probably just found out about CloneX. Now they're going to fall down the rabbit hole of, wow, there's clothes, there's in real life clothes. And now like people are going to say like, oh, I could equip this and something could possibly happen. I can make my clone more unique and more personal to myself. And that's where you get like celebrities, like big people saying, I need this. I need to have my digital identity.
And it keeps going too, because when they fall down that rabbit hole, they're going to be like, yo, wait, I need the digital to wear that on my renders on Clone Tools, or I need the digital to equip that in inventory. And then they're going to be like, yo, what else is there? Boom, season 1, there's an entire digital collection. Too bad the inventory gods, IYKYK, are amassing digital armor pieces for the future. And good luck getting some of those pieces to anyone who comes in at this point. But yeah, seriously, good luck. Anyway, Spectre, I saw you come off mute for a second there, and then I want to throw it to Tevi because I just saw that bounce too. maybe Spectre doesn't want to talk anymore.
Oh, sorry. I had a call. My bad.
Oh, it's all good.
It was one of my tattooers.
Did
He
you
was closing up the shop because I had to leave early today. And he was like, hey, bro, where the fuck you left the keys? I'm like, oh, shit. So the thing that I was going to say is that when you mentioned that Press was doing the renders literally the same day that I posted, that I bought the clone, like I feel like, like 7 minutes after, already had that thing. I was like, holy shit, that's so cool.
It's like it's a proper welcome to a creative ecosystem to have a community member who's as active and cares as much as Prez does about this space, to drop people who are coming in hoodie edits, which
Man,
is just sick.
Man, with Press, I remember Compound did the Bat Take thing, and it was really cool because I knew about Artifact in the minting process, but I was not, economically, financially stable, to say the least. So I couldn't like afford a clone. So I just, stepped away from like the community. Now that I could, bought the clone, bought everything. And it felt really nice because everybody was always very nice. Even when I didn't have my clone, everybody was very welcoming. And Compound with the Bat Take, like hoodie, katana. When I saw that shit, I was like, holy shit, this fucking legend just did this. That is awesome. Press. So it's a really welcoming community. And honestly, I feel that I would have not got into render if everybody was like kind of, because I've seen some other communities where people just like literally just bash you. And everybody's really welcoming on the Discord, Twitter. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm happy you found a Spectre. I think it's dope that you got a clone you vibe with. I love the Compound Bad Take at it with the tack jacket, I'll call it, and the katana, the sword, dude. It's sweet. It means you're ready to raise that hand and represent on the timeline. So with that though, I do want to just say, anyone in the audience, anyone who listens back, again, if you don't have a CloneX, if you don't have any assets in this ecosystem, that is 100% okay, because we don't care what's in your bag, because it's about the vision. It's having those eyes that can see the future that is literally not here yet because it's in the future, but you understand it's happening now, and you see the vision that guides us all right into it because it's literally happening right now. And that is what we care about, everyone. We care what's in your heart and in your eyes, because you're seeing this thing for what it actually is, which is pushing, which is dragging and pulling and scraping the creator economy forward for the first time in a more organized way. And to me, that's a lot of what this vision actually is. And that's why I think it's special that we have access to 3D files, that we can customize skins, we can create community renders, we can sub community render, we can take our friends' clones into a group shot, we can do, screenshot selfies on cyber metaverse parties with Tropics DJing on the stage. Like, it's insanity how dope this stuff is. And it's fun to be able to participate in an ecosystem like this with people like you, everyone here, everyone listening, because that's what this is about. It's all about pushing this stuff forward. Tevi, I went on a little bit of a sidestep there. Welcome back.
Hey, yeah, no, I thought that was super inspiring. I got hyped just listening to you. Yeah, I know I missed honestly probably like a bunch of discussion. But I think like what I wanted to say, like Spectre. So you said like you just picked up doing edits and renders and stuff, and I would say, man, keep going. Like honestly, like I don't like I got into 3D just last year actually. Into Blender just last year when the files unlocked. And actually, when I started, there was no clone tools per se, right? So, I had to like learn everything, and I'm still learning a ton. Like it's not easy. But what I will say, and where I'm going with this is like, the more you do, and the more you have a vision, like this is appropriate because Clonespiracy, the vision jacket, all that fun stuff, and looking into the future. the more like you have a vision of what you're trying to create, and like it's you will gain a ton of satisfaction out of like making that come to life. And what's really cool about everybody like doing their own thing is, like you might have your creative style, but then you see somebody else's like render, and like whether it's like a different angle, different lighting, different, even like different scene. um and it's really cool to see everybody's like different styles, and how they pose and do things. So I think the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. If you had told me, last year that, I'd be creating some of the stuff that I'm doing, I would have been like, BS. Like that seems like way out there. But it's like riding a bike. The more you do it, like the better you get at it, and then you can add more tricks and stuff. So keep building, man. Like I think what's really cool about the clone community and everybody that's, whether it's Prez or Boo. I think Boo does like a lot of the what are they called? Like the skin, like the it's not skins. Help me out.
The AR
Yes, the
filters. He makes
filters.
a lot of AR filters.
Like that stuff. Like I can't do that stuff. Like that's, or I mean, I could if I applied myself, but it's like it's as much as I love animation. Like I tried following the tutorial for the AR filters, and I was like, nope, not my cup of tea. But it's really cool when I see people do that, right? And so my point in telling you this is like there's so many creative people within the ecosystem and within the community that, if you are interested in something, there's always somebody around to help you out and encourage you along. And I think that's probably one of the most powerful things. Because again, like a lot of the stuff that, I'm able to do today, it's because somebody along the way helped me out. And some of our top creators in the ecosystem too, like where, if it was anywhere else, you'd be like, man, I don't even know if I can talk to that person, or are they even going to answer me? And you'd be surprised, like people will respond, they'll support you and provide pointers. So, and sometimes like Perez hooked, like yeah, I'm pretty sure Perez hooked everybody up with, like renders and stuff, and he's doing it because he cares about the community, and that's super dope. I mean, right now he's even like streaming the whole thing in his pod. I'm actually dancing with him. So maybe a shout out to anybody who doesn't realize that, Prez has a super nice on CyberPod set up where he streams every single space that we have. And you can jump in with your VRM files and hang out. So shout out to Prez and Boo and, man, all the creators in the space. Like Kuro's been killing it, like with renders, like makes me want to bean just looking at what he's been doing. um, and I gotta shout out like the Clonespiracy space for like pulling us all together, and honestly like giving us like an outlet to like let our mind run free, right? So I think earlier when Jack was talking about, yeah, I mean it's not really speculating, like it's more like theorizing, taking what we know and building upon it, and throwing it in the ether, right? And see what comes out. But anyways, I'm getting long-winded. And like I said, I missed part of the conversation. So just like some of the stuff that I was thinking about earlier that I wanted to touch on, Spectre, for you.
I seriously appreciate that. I've been speaking to, especially Felon was the first person that helped me out. I've been seeing everybody's renders. Kuro's are crazy. Yours are sick, heavy. Jack's, Boo's, Press. Everybody in this space is just really, really talented. And I did not know about the clone files just released last year, and it's just crazy to see the amazing art everybody's been doing. And mostly what I always try to talk to Bailelo, because he speaks Spanish, which is my native language as well, and I can kind of understand it a little bit better. But thank you for that. I try not to bother a lot of people too much. I've always been that way. I always try to like keep my distance, not because I'm not social, just because it's kind of like I feel like I'm bothering somebody, even though I know they're pretty nice and everybody's told me it's like, hey, if you have a question, just ask. Everybody's gonna help you out, and I appreciate you, just telling me that. But I'll if I ever get like really, really stuck, I'll ask. But I just try not to bother, too much. But I appreciate it, Tevi.
Yeah, for sure, man. And definitely, like I said, man, it's definitely not a bother. Like more than happy to share whatever I know, which is not a ton, but whatever. I think,
Tavi, you know a lot, bro. You know a lot.
man, like now you're gonna make me blush and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So
I
my
mean, it's
point
true.
is, reach out if you need anything. Like I know there's people are more than happy to help out, and it's definitely not a bother. I know. I know that feeling of like, yeah, thinking like you're gonna bother somebody, but the reality is it's not. And what the worst thing that can happen is like they just don't answer. It's like you're not burning any bridges or anything like that. So this is all like
Look,
labor of love, and everybody's here to help out and build on that. So yeah, reach out.
Tavi, the best part, if someone doesn't answer, is about 3 to 6, maybe 9 months later, you can give them shit for not responding to your DM. Because they're going to see it eventually,
Yeah,
y'all.
true that. Because you'll see that they read it, which is super nice.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for inspiring me, man. I'm gonna keep listening to you guys and practice here on Blender. Appreciate it.
Hit them with that monochrome red background, deep, dark, demon vibes, full send specter. And if you feel like it, bro, change your entire demon to lime because it's the color of the hopium that's in our veins, bro. Anyway, Baron, what up? Welcome to the stage.
What up? What up? Good day, dude. Had to take about 3 naps today to get through it. I've been just a bit cranky and don't know why, but it's all good. You know what I mean? I think the third nap did the trick, and not sure how I'm going to sleep tonight. But when they say you can sleep it off, dude, I sleep away just crankiness sometimes. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, it's beautiful here, and I'm just stoked. I got all this gear, and I don't know what to do with it except for just like stare at it and touch it. And it's fun to like just look at one piece at a time. There's so much detail. I'm pleasantly surprised by these hats that they put out. I think that Nike has struggled dramatically when it comes to their hat business, and never really liked any of them. They're all floppy, and if they were comfortable, then they didn't fit like well. They were like loose. So yeah, this thing is like it fits perfect, dude. And I think they're onto something with these short bills because no one even really has said anything about the fact that it's a dad hat and like changing the whole hat game when really like you think that people would notice that the brim is like, I don't know, I haven't measured, but it's got to be like a half inch shorter. So you'd think you'd hear some FUD. I guess either we're growing up, Cook, or people are tired, or maybe they fucking like it. You think they like it?
Wait, you
Baron,
think the brim
we're
is
just
short or long?
Exactly. The brim is a little bit shorter than your average hat, which hence I think that's where they get the dad hat moniker, that name. But you think they like it, guys? I think they fucking like it.
I think they like it, bro, because I got mine, and I'm not gonna FUD, but I don't know. Whenever I wore it, my cousin told me, he's like, "Yo, it looks a little off," and I'm like, "Whatever, you know. I waited this long. It's good. It's good, just the way it
I
I
is."
want
tell
somebody to
everybody,
clip that. I want somebody to clip that. I waited this long. It's good. I don't care. It's good. Like clip it, put it on a t-shirt, something.
his cousin is tricking him, dude. His cousin wants the hat. You never tell anybody.
He obviously wants a hat too.
Yeah.
He definitely hit me up. He's like, yeah. He's like, I rock hats, bro, and he's a little bigger than me, so like I think it would look better on him, but because this is it's a nice hat.
Which one? Which one'd
Just
you get?
I got 2 demons and 1 Murakami drip.
Yeah, dude. So I think they like it. I just it's fun, man. It's the colors are out there. The on some of the stuff, you feel like a kid wearing it, which like I had that neon green. I felt my wife's like, I feel like you're like wearing something my dad would buy back in the '90s, like when we were on a trip to Florida. I'm like, That is so fucking awesome. You just said that. My God, I want to feel like different. That's the whole reason that I go and try to find like shoes and other stuff that's just unique, whether it be a toy or a piece of art or whatever it is. It's just cool. And this is the ultimate. It's like the other thing is you don't have to have the clone of the clothing line that you fall in love with. So that's another thing that is going to be like a big deal. It's like, well, fuck, I like this undead hoodie, but I don't own an undead clone. Well, don't worry about it. It's just like not having a clone. Like we don't care. We want creators. We want people that vibe with what we got going on here. And by some weird like function, mostly anybody that hangs around clones ends up with one. And I think that's just like, I don't know whether it's osmosis or people just good things happen when they hang out with us. But yeah, so don't feel like you need a clone or that clone DNA to go get some of that merch.
Is osmosis the right term though? You mean like synergy or?
No, by osmosis, just by like naturally, they just end up with a clone. I
Oh,
can't see how it
Just like
happens.
just like metabolism.
Yeah.
It just happens.
cool. But I think, yeah, you're right.
Is
I
that
mean,
the wrong use of the term?
I don't know. I feel like osmosis is more. I could be wrong. I'm gonna Google it right now. But you're probably right, Baron. I mean, you're cultured, so.
This happens naturally.
I think he meant metabolism. But on that note, I see a familiar hand up, and I just love the way it looks up. I'm pretty sure he's just actively engagement farming, but we're going to try and see what kind of steak Kuro made tonight, because man's only eats red meat grilled to perfection, Kuro. I see that perfect medium rare,
Bro, it's got to be that way. There's no other way that you can eat a steak, brother. It's like if you don't eat it medium rare, you're not really eating steak. You're eating something overcooked. I know, Tevi. I know. It's not blood coming out of the steak. It's hemoglobin. Just chill, bro.
Yeah, it just reminds us, our carnivore roots, and it really brings us back and makes us feel like, more cultured and savage real men because we eat medium rare steaks. And that's kind of like really just the hack behind it. It's really a psyop. I'm pretty sure Kuro and I are just a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I really was vibing with what Baron was saying because I'm gonna buy a undead clone soon for my 100K account. I just got access to what's this thing called here? Wonder Dynamics. Tomorrow I get my code, so we are going to be replacing the near-death experience people with clones, baby. Let's fucking go! I'm so stoked about this because this has been like, it's been like over 8 months in the making. So, we're getting so close right now to having clone visibility on other like sections of the internet, on other timelines, and like I I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I like I like the undead varsity, but I'm definitely gonna list all of the other undead stuff because I'm more of a reptile guy, to be honest. Kind of vibe the reptile vibes. So yeah, I think not you don't even need a clone to buy any of this stuff. You see how like the secondary market for clothing for CloneX is so like vibrant. Like think about it. Like we do more volume than StockX. In all seriousness, and we haven't even gotten the items yet, and we're still doing like more volume. So I think, in the future, I think we're going to see a lot more releases, especially from Dot Swoosh. I do think that at some point they'll have like a tracksuit, maybe a set of like sweaters and stuff like that. And I think that's going to draw people into the clone, like ecosystem, like just completely. Like we've already had one person that came out of the blue and is now rocking a clone PFP from hanging out inside of the bad space or the bad take spaces. So I think Nike sees that and they're gonna kind of like, push for more clothing items through the Dot Swoosh onboarding. And I think it makes more sense because like if they have their own marketplace and it's being traded on Polygon, they could do like next to no gas like just free trading on there, and then it would save like a lot of headaches, especially for people that don't really want to buy cryptocurrency and not interested in cryptocurrency, but it will give them digital asset ownership, which I think is one of the most important things. Like if we're going to onboard people, but we're first educating them, because I'm a huge proponent of mass education, not mass onboarding, because like it almost feels like when you're doing mass onboarding, you're like forcing somebody to get into something that they don't quite understand. And I don't think that's the right way to do anything. Like the way that my brother onboarded me was like kind of like, you know, he set up a wallet and stuff for me, but I didn't really like do anything. I like got him to like buy me a couple items in 2018. He had helped me mint some punks and stuff before that. And like I didn't really like use the wallet until an artist friend of mine, Joey Colombo, like got me into Tezos. So because like I wasn't like, you know, $7 per token is a lot different of a risk tolerance than, you know, like 4 bands, like $4,000 a token, right? Like when I first started collecting art, I would only collect art on Tezos because they had that marketplace. And that goes back to another thing. The ease of use of that marketplace was a huge factor in me wanting to get involved into like the whole OpenSea thing. Because once I had used the training wheels, I was so prepared for OpenSea. And I think I've done pretty well with NFTs. Like, yeah, I'm down USD, but I'm not down Ethereum. I'll tell you that much.
Well done, Kuro. I wish I was in that boat. I think man's down on both. But one day we can bounce back. You hit on something really important there, Kuro. It was the ease of onboarding into a crypto native ecosystem and how we should lead with education. And that's kind of what Spectre was hitting on earlier with the ability to access and customize 3D files, because he's been at it for about a week, and it's learning, it's getting educated on this thing that now you're jumping into the shallow end of the pool with, kind of wading in, feeling the waters, testing it out. You're not just in the deep end saying, oh, buy this, do this, take this risk, oh, you don't have to worry about the thing behind it, it's fine, it's going to work. It's like, no, it's actually super amazingly critically important to understand what you're doing in these programs, or understand what piece of technology you're actually interacting with. And I think as that ease of onboarding, that ease of education and that user experience, it almost abstracts the blockchain away from the collector that decides to participate in a digital collectible ecosystem. With credit cards, bro, it's going to be an email and a credit card, and boom, you're in the marketplace. Boom, you're trading digital collectibles, equipping things on your avatar, whatever it may or may not be, and you have access to so many things. And like Dot Swoosh is a really great thing, because it is Nike onboarding Nike people. Artifact onboarded Web3 people. Artifact onboarded some Nike people, but not all the Nike people. And then, because like Artifact was Artifact before Nike ever came into the mix. However, it was based on custom sneaker culture. That is the people that were OGs on the Meta Pigeon drops, the Fuocious, the et cetera, the et cetera. It's about the creator pushing that piece of art and medium forward. And that's who Artifact got involved in this ecosystem. Those are the people that jumped on this dream that we all share and we're all still here for. And it's like, now Dot Swoosh is like, okay, we just learned a lot from the first full year of Artifact. Let's roll that out. Let's scale it up a little bit though. Instead of 20K, let's do 106,000 and change. But like, let's let our people know, they have 300,000+ wallets, custodial wallets, to again attempt to abstract that blockchain experience away from the traditional user who's just kind of dipping their toe in the pond. But as more people experience blockchain and digital collectibles, and they start to feel more safe within it, they will venture out. And when they do, it's up to us, the people who have been here, who have seen it, to educate them and bring them safely into the world, the open sea, the Ethereum, the place we play on. And, you know, it's really what we choose to accept is where we play. And like all of this, all of this is just, again, it's pushing that creative vision forward. So the title of this space, it is the vision of Artifact. And really, I didn't know how it would loop into today's thing. And we'll jump back to Beatles timeline at some point in the future, but like it's more critically important that we continue on this track because I like the vibes. Kuro, what up?
To create a revolution by any means.
By any means necessary. Let's go. And so I just pinned at the top because this is Clonespiracy, and I feel like one day I will meet the man, the legend that is Alt Anonymous. Until then, I will keep just talking his page for cool little threads of wisdom and how things connect. But anyway, just posted at the top something that Alt's put together that talks about the Nike marketplace, and it's like this little storyboard. It's kind of fun to read. There's some cool things on there. You can read it. I can read it. Actually, I'm not gonna read it because I think it's one of those things that you kind of want to sit back, you know, go through it, and really let it sink in, and it helps you see that longer term vision and what can be. So I saw that earlier today when I was at work, and I was like, man, that is good. That is on point. And then work get busy, so actually when I'm off the space, I'm going to sit down and reread through everything again. A lot of that information is stuff that, you know, you've probably seen here and there, but never together. And it, you know, really puts that nice little web of things together and gets you thinking about, man, here's what's really coming, and, you know, what could be, what may very well be, and how being in this ecosystem really sets you up for, you know, what I would call success longer term. So thought it was worth a share. Thanks, Alts, for doing the work there.
Thank you for sharing that, Tevi. Alt, thank you for compiling that. That is the single best compilation of more or less, you know, my whiteboard and post-it notes and notebooks and miscellaneous notes of literally the last year and a half in one photo, laid out probably as clearly as it should be, because if we make it too easy, then everybody's going to know. But all you have to do, fam, is look at that, spend about 30 minutes on it. Yeah, I know it's one tweet. Look at it, retweet it, like it. That is a fire tweet based on the patents, the Nike Crypto Kick patents, 2019, 2017, somewhere in that vintage. My timeline's a little cracked right now, but I think that's right. So read that tweet, because like that is dot swoosh. That is also dichotomy, head of tokenomics at dot swoosh, talking about how universal profiles or user profiles, how universal profiles and creator held accounts can unlock so much more within a marketplace and an ecosystem that really just allows people to engage and interact with the pieces that they want to, which is the digital collectible itself. It's not the 6 transactions. It's a streamlined marketplace, y'all. Like, it's crazy. This is a tweet of tweets that the Sir of Sirs actually posted for everyone. He laid it out there, y'all. So do what you will with it. However, that is an exciting tweet. On this note, while we're talking about the Sir of Sirs, Alt Anonymous, Ethalorian, Chella, oh God, Ari, I always call him Ari. He's probably going to be like, dude, what are you doing? I got to Ariano, I think. They just launched the MetaHead Space project. It is an Ethereum-based thing for the time being. They will likely port into a future dimension at some point. That was confirmed earlier today. Y'all, if you have seen Alts Anonymous, if you have seen Ethalorian, Chella, Ari, oh man, I'm going to get slapped for that one. If you've seen those guys on the timeline, and woman, if you've seen them, you know that they're positive, active participants in an ecosystem of absolutely craziness that is unpredictable and wild, and that's kind of some of the fun of it. But it's like those are 4 individuals that are core to the Metalhead Space effort. Those are 4 individuals that have been extremely positive actors in the CloneX ecosystem since I entered. Those were people that welcomed me back in the day that were like, yo, dude, check this out. Oh, check this out. And like, it was just fun. And I think as we all continue to push forward, it's really up to each of us to continue to be those positive actors for the next generation of clones and clone holders that choose to come into this space, whether it's because they got a crypto kick, they got an Air Force One, they got a human skin vial from a creative contest from our swoosh, whatever it might be. Anyone who's active in this ecosystem, let's be positive stewards, I guess, and guide them respectfully into the different sub communities, the different timelines, the tweets, the clone tools, the files, the creative economy that we're all seeking to actually represent. That's why we're here, fam. So, Tevi, great share on that. You got your boy a little bit hyped if you couldn't tell.
Nah, I had to, man. Like I said, I started early at work today, and it's like I was like, I gotta come back to it later. And I just realized that I didn't even retweet or like it earlier, but it was on my mind clearly. So I made sure I took care of that, right now. But yeah, I was thinking like later on tonight, if people don't pin it, like that's one thing that I think people need to see. And that tweet is fire, alts. Like that's on point. So thanks for doing that. But yeah, man, like this whole space, like this community, man, like it's, man, there's no place I'd rather be. Let's just put it that way. Keep it simple.
There's no place I'd rather be. I agree, Tevi. I think it's just about the people who are here supporting this vision. That's really what's so exciting, is that this community, this ecosystem, we keep supporting, we continue, we ride, right? Like, we're here. We are here for the reasons that we're all here for, and everyone's individual reason is right for that person, for if they choose to be here, or if they choose not to be here, that's also the right choice for that person. It's we are a worldwide project. We are a decentralized community of creatives in some way or another, and it's like everyone's going to have different reasons and different opinions and different thoughts and different feelings, and like, that's good. That's why we're here, to be decentralized in every aspect, and that's one of them. It's like how we organize that, the attitudes we carry through it, those threads we weave into the tapestry we hang on the wall, y'all. Like, that's what this is about. It's about creating something that hasn't been done before through the tools that we have, through the technology that we have, which is digital content ownership. And finally, right? Like, about time we own our digital content, whatever it may or may not be. And like, that's what's so exciting. I have a plug for a newsletter. I need to give that plug before this space ends. I can do it now. I can do it later. We just have to make sure that I say it, because I keep forgetting to say it every time.
Just say it. Say it.
Do it. I just see the
Do
meme.
it.
Do it. So it's second from the left, pinned up top. We have our website. It's live. If you haven't checked it out, please do. Gem and I are very proud of that website. The mug giveaway, we dropped the info on that the other day. We do plan to forge 3 physical mugs. They will look different than that render, because that render is amazing, and I currently do not possess the manufacturing capabilities / supply chain to bring that exact render to life, but we have found an acceptable alternative for the time being. Gem and I have forged physically 3 mugs already. We drink coffee out of them and GM the timeline occasionally. So if you want to see the physical, check both accounts. Gem probably tweets about coffee more than I do, because she makes it better. But that's besides the point. So with this newsletter, we have a sign up on our website at the bottom of the homepage, I guess. It just says, subscribe to our newsletter. That's just going to be your Twitter handle and your email that you'd like to receive the newsletter at. As a part of our newsletter, we will be highlighting this ecosystem in 3 core categories. It will be know the vision, see the vision, be the vision. And I think I got the order a little mixed up and matched up, but it's like, it's okay. Because when you see, know, and be, it's really going to unlock kind of what this whole thing is about. And I think over time, through different versions, variants, types of newsletters, I guess, like it's going to become more clear and more clear and more clear who this community is, who this ecosystem is, who this sub community is. And it's going to be our way of pretty much giving back to the people that really love this artifact vision. And we're going to highlight creators with it, because like the creators are the core, they are the backbone, they are the reason that any of us are here. Because without someone being like, yo, we should put this like 64-bit pixel thing on this Ethereum token and then sell it as a punk, like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, we wouldn't have NFTs. I don't know if it's 64-bit. I'm just saying a number. It might be 248, 256 numbers. Anyway, regardless, adding digital collectibles to tokens is innovative. It is the thing that will inspire and push the next generation, the next wave forward. And the creators are the ones that are building it. The collectors, the consumers, the flippers. I don't know. There's so many different variants of types of people, but at the end of the day, I strongly think that anyone who's actively involved in this ecosystem at this point in time is a creator in some way, shape, or form. And as we scale up, all those types of people are just going to become bigger, louder, more of them. Yeah, it's just wild. Rose Jade just came up to the stage. I love it when Rose comes up to the stage. She has that beautiful piece of timeless art, the MGXS UOM. What up, Rose?
Hi, Jeff. We were just talking the other day about, I think, Genesis art and all that. And then I just changed my PFP. And I'm like, yeah, this was me before CloneX, before I joined CloneX. This was my PFP that I rocked for a long time. So proud to rock it again, since we're beating the drum to a June 7th launch of the next phase. And I think with communities, PFP means a lot. I had rocked my clone for a long time. And I'll share with the fam here just that I had joined the Genesis project team, but I had the CloneX PFP. And for a while, some of the community members kind of were like, "Oh no, should you just change your PFP to the Genesis one?" And MGXS actually told me not to. He's like, "You gotta rock with what you want to rock. That's amazing. Like, do what you want to do." So I am happy to rock the Genesis for a time right now while we're beating the drum, working hard on the next launch. But I just love the creator community and vibes of CloneX, because I think we can imagine so many different things, and like how Kuro is already using his bean with his CloneX. I mean, cross pollination of projects. I feel like that's the reach that we want. We don't want to keep tapping into the liquidity of our clone holders. It's all about tapping into other communities and investing in their communities as well. So trying to follow suit, I think, with Kuro and others that have done so, because I think there's a lot of great benefit to just mingling and being part of a lot of communities, and especially when we have like IRL events, and there's multiple like parties to hop to. I think that's probably the best that you can imagine in terms of real community vibes, like the IRL activation, if you will. That's when it gets super sticky. You just have to go to one per community, and then you feel like you're in. And I think in the spirit of Web3, I think that's what we're all looking for, is just really connection. Yes, I think the bags are involved, but I think when you can actually weigh the importance of collection and connection together, then it's just much more fun, right? We could celebrate the successes, we could ride the downswings together, and then when we come up again, that's when it's going to be fabulous, where we can kind of celebrate together, because it's tried and true times that make everyone as a community like stronger. And the Genesis Art Project definitely knows that. Like, we're a smaller and smaller community over time, but we're in like probably the most active group chats just to lament and talk about art and how can we support the project. So I love it, because there's a lot of ties between Artifact and the Genesis project, because MGXS and Benito are really good friends, and he actually worked on Artifact. And thanks, Jack, too, for posting the tweet that Benito had today about the what was it, the punk project that MGXS had participated in. It feels like decades ago when it wasn't really, but I think a lot of founders and projects have like roots and connections with one another. So really cool to see. We want strong people working with strong people, just like in our creator economy. So I need to learn
Well,
plenty.
and Rose,
Yeah.
there's you probably already know about these, but they're called the X Evolutions from November 2020. They're an Air Jordan 1 OG inspired. The X Evolutions. I'm just reading what Beetle wrote about them. They were auctioned them on Metagrail, a collaboration with artist MGXS. The final design of the sneaker was a surprise as new paint colors were added upon every successive bid. The winner of the auction also got a pair of custom physical sneakers. The final X Evolutions had 6 colors and was collected by Whale Shark at 22 ETH back in November 2020. So MGXS and Artifact, they go deep. When Benoit was coming out and saying MGXS is the mad scientist of Artifact, that's because they were talking and ideating and trying to see what this space could become years before the CloneX project, years before this creative economy evolution that's currently happening. And as an artist, I think MGXS, he's my personal favorite artist personally. That's alive, I guess I can say. He's definitely my favorite digital. Like I love it. Like from the art, the skill, the talent, the attention to detail, the vibe of rock whatever PFP you want, Rose. Go with your own thing. Like, yes, that just makes so much sense. And I forget where I'm going with this, but I'm hyped over the MGXS stuff that's coming up June 7th.
So can we actually? So I haven't, and it pains me to say this, but I have not been following as closely recently, and I remember, and I was super hyped about the whole Genesis collection. I still hold my Genesis. I'm never letting go of that thing. I think it's amazing, and to date, I'm proud to say, and I will say this day in and day out, I think the mint that was the most impactful to me in this space, honestly, was the GNSS mint. I think that was so well done and so creative. And I wish there was more mints like that one that people would do. But where I'm going with this is I've been behind on the whole mem thing and what's really happening there and what that's all about. I tried reading a little bit about it and then I got confused, and mainly because I get distracted and then I never went back to it. So maybe like what is if we can talk a little bit about it, but what is the TLDR, Rose or Jack, on what's coming up next there?
Popcorn over to Rose.
Yeah,
Rose, we can use this for marketing content if you'd like later. We're recording because we don't want holes in the bottom of our ship in the ocean.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give a quick TLDR. It is complicated because it's MGXS. As marketing manager, it is a challenge. I'll just say that in terms of like, what do you really want to do? Like, I got to do an infographic now. It's now part of my homework to develop an infographic. So MEM stands for Machine Embedded Moments, and it is MGXS's next phase of the Genesis project, where he has figured out a way how to create art and value for his holders without diluting the original collection. And that was, I think, a main constraint for him as an artist, because he's like, I want to produce more, but everybody wants, you know how it is with the second collection or third collection. It's like what 1/10 of the current floor price. And our floor price is so low right now that he's like, there's no point in releasing something. And he really is not in it to make revenue. Right now, he's trying to focus on creating just more art and creating different experiences for our holders. So with MEM, or Machine Embedded Moments, we are looking to have an activation that starts on June 7th. He's doing a big exhibit at NFC Lisbon, but online we will also go live with an experience for the public as well as Genesis holders. And so the idea is that we're using his generative, procedural art as well as AI plus Genesis as like a basis, so the beings, if you will. So participants get to pick. So Genesis holders get up to 10 chances to select a mem for each of their Genesis. And this is the concept of where NFTs will own NFTs. So our Genesis beings will own the mem. Each mem is actually going to be registered to a tree of mem so that in the future, more activations like NFC Lisbon or maybe Art Basel will have another tree, and we're going to curate into the tree together as like a collective canvas of sorts. So it's a little confusing. It's basically you have the chance to create art on the fly, to kind of just participate in this effort overall. We have plans on what to do with the mems later on, especially if you're a Genesis holder. It's not a mint per se, it's just a collective like curation. But the fun of going through up to 10 choices if you have a Genesis holder to choose one, it's a skip, and you can't go back kind of thing, just like the original seed. So as I post on the Genesis handle, some examples of the art that we're tuning and training, those are just the outputs. What you see will never come back because, with AI, it's kind of random and through his process. It's on the fly art creation that's going to begin June 7th, both online and for those that are attending the exhibit at NFC Lisbon. So it's like a spectrum of things that we're doing. It starts June 7th. More to come. I'm in my deep 2-week timeline before launch, so you'll see a little bit more explicit posting around this mem experience.
That is mind blowing. Like I'm sitting here, like I was just saying, like it would be cool. I would love to experience, and that's literally what you guys are doing. Like you're doing more of that amazing drop, except it's not a drop. It's just more creating the art, and man, that's exciting. So is that gonna be like just a specific window where we can do this, or it's gonna be open indefinitely, and we get to do just go through like how like I
Yeah, the
know I'm
mechanics
hijacking this
is,
space, but I
yeah,
really want to know about this.
yeah, real quick. Just it starts June 7th for the people that are live there at NFC Lisbon. It just happens for the 2 days that the show is there. For the general public, we're opening up to everybody. You don't have to own a Genesis. It's going to be live on the website where you only get 3 choices, but we want people to experience it just for fun, to add to the tree of men, if you will. And then for Genesis holders, it is open indefinitely. The next activation will produce like another tree of mem we're envisioning down the line. But because for Genesis holders, especially with the bear, we know people have gone away and we don't want people to miss out. That's like not the point. If anything, we actually want as many mems to be created as possible because the more that we create, the more that we have to select from for something later down the line. So right now it's collective curation to register onto this tree, if you will, which I know is a little bit nebulous. It's not a mint. I think whenever you think about mint and whatnot, like people have the monetary incentive, and that is not the intent. Not the intent at all. It's all about a collective experience to kind of create art, to get more awareness around what MGXS had developed over time. And he's like heads down so busy curating and fine tuning his process. And because I'm doing marketing, I have the benefit of scouring through like thousands of outputs just for the Twitter posts. But I can like empathize with him, and I'm like so proud to be part of the project team because he's working so hard to do not just a in real life experience on site, but also a live activation on the website, right? So kind of a 2-pronged experience across the board. And it's happening June 7th, which I keep saying that date out loud for myself because I'm like, it's coming up real fast. It's coming up real soon. But excited to share with everybody as more is available, especially just we want everybody to experience kind of gen art and AI and with MGXS's prowess, of course, as a mad scientist. So thanks for the chance to share. And Tebby, I will ping you direct
Oh,
updates.
please, dude. This is super. Like, you have no idea how hyped I am right now. Obviously, I've been collecting just like really cool pieces to put in my pods, and as I do like my random renders and stuff, like I try to incorporate some of this stuff. So now, man, like to be able to go through, like I said, that was my favorite mint experience. Like ever since I came into like NFTs, that nothing tops it. And yes, Artifact, love Artifact, but like nothing tops the Genesis mint. Like bar none. There's no close second. So to be able to like go through that again and get some really dope art out of it, because I have no doubt it will be. I mean, like every GNSS looks like a one of one. That's how insane and intricate, that whole collection is. Like if you love art for the sake of art, that is the one. So yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you, Rose, for walking through that. Like, yeah, like I said, I started like reading and trying to figure it out, and I was like, you know what, later. Uh, I'll figure it out some other time. But yeah, this has me caught up, and now I'm gonna go back and read everything. Yeah, so yeah, please ping me. I'm definitely want to experience this. So this is gonna be pretty epic.
Well, and just looping it through too to like the vision of this ecosystem. MGXS is a creator. He's someone who's collaborated with Artifact in the past. Rose is someone who found, I think, Web3 through the Genesis project. Please jump in if I'm wrong on that, Rose. But I know that's where we met, and that like now we're both involved heavily in the CloneX ecosystem and you're building Synamine too, and it's like Aunt Ben's out here grinding, you're out here grinding, alts, Ethalorian, like people are building in this space, and that is how we push this vision forward, is by building individual IPs that then can connect back in some way, shape, or form to the digital assets that we've all become attached to, for better or worse at this point. Like like that's what this is. It's that we have the IP rights to then go out and create literally whatever we want it to be, and we have an ecosystem that will hopefully back the effort, that will show support, stand behind it, protect the vision that it represents at the end of the day. And that's what this is. This is a group of people that are here to build the future together, and as we continue to grow, the vision becomes more and more clear as more people see it. um, and that's just a little bit. That's just a piece about it, y'all.
If I may add, Jack, I think the spirit of a metaverse with interoperability, where we're all kind of playing within the game together, that's also one of the goals of the Genesis project. Or these beings are meant to be 3D. We're trying to work on that part to do with a full 3D body, but I think it's going to be so amazing to see clones and Genesis and other communities have their 3D assets so that we can roam around and hang out with each other. I think that's the end game in general. So glad to be kind of part of it in a variety of facets, but I feel like it's getting closer and closer day by day.
It's all happening soon. Kuro, that hand just raised. We don't want to keep it up too long. What up?
Yo, thank you, Jack. I was gonna ask Rose, isn't the Genesis art like Houdini?
It is. He developed a Houdini process over the course of, I think, 4 years,
Wow.
and then now he's leveraging it with AI as well. So the Genesis being is actually, each being mostly is coming from like a little, like what he calls a seed. So not the seed reveal, but like a core seed, as if like
Yeah,
a
it's a
plant.
seed algorithm.
Yeah, seed algorithm. Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow.
And then so now the AI is working on that.
I used to work at this place called Guru Studios. It's like a kids film studio. Like they make mostly kids stuff there. They made like Paw Patrol and stuff. That was one of the things that I worked on. And like we had this guy that did Houdini. And honestly, in my personal opinion, Houdini is one of the most complex things I've ever seen in my life. In terms of 3D. Like yeah, wow. Because I've always wondered like whether or not it was Houdini. I had my assumptions it was, but I haven't done much research. I used to own a Genesis. It's just I didn't like the one I got, and I still haven't found one that I like. So maybe this upcoming event might yield something that I really, really adore. There was one that I do like, but my friend has it vaulted because it looks like it has a Nike logo over the left eye. So I was like, yeah, that's mine. But he won't sell it to me. He did list it at one point for 600 ETH, but it was a bit of a purchase. If I'm going to spend 600 ETH, I'm going to get the Murakami dark skin split face with the varsity jacket that Silly Tuna has. That's when I'll spend 600 ETH for sure.
Kuro, you just threw it way back to the swoosh days in the Genesis VC, y'all. The entire community would sit there and zoom in on everyone's individual Genesis, arguing back and forth, commentating back and forth as to whether or not it was a clearly defined swoosh or not. And that went on for weeks, fam, maybe months. Seriously, that community, the Genesis community, goes so hard for the art of it all. And that's what's so beautiful about it is I see Rose, I see Bombay, I see Doug Graves down there too. Like y'all are like, through Genesis, and now we're here, and it's just fun to see that growth of individuals within a space that kind of vibe with different pieces and parts and places. And it all kind of builds towards our collective journeys, our experiences. And I think doing a collective curation effort with the machine embedded moments. Wow, that's a mouthful. Well spoken earlier, Rose. That was awesome. Like that is what this is about. It's about building the tapestry that we put on the wall for the futures to come, so that nobody has to deal with rugs anymore, because that shit sucked. And it's like we made it past the rugs, fam. And like that's a pretty big thing, because a lot of people didn't get back up when that thing got pulled. So it's like we can be the positive actors. We can be meta heads within this space. We can be creative visionaries that propel this creative economy forward. And y'all, I think it's happening here organically over time within the CloneX ecosystem. Kuro, that hand is working today. What up?
Oh, we just had a legend in here. Oh my god, we just missed Alchemy. I wanted to introduce Alchemy and Rusby, because Rusby showed me like the most, or Russ, I can't even, I'm sorry, bro. I always do that. I know that's why you get annoyed with me, but I can't pronounce anything. But I wanted to introduce them because Alchemy makes physicals. He just did like a giant blade, and I really wanted to introduce him to Rusby so that he could make that vial, the clone vial, because that clone vial, the custom one with Johnny, is a fucking vibe. Like that's what I'm here for. Like fucking, like, bro, could you imagine how fucking cool that would be to have a pendant around your neck? Like that's a vibe. That's a real fucking vibe. I'm just gonna be excited when my clone has a pendant, but when I have one, oh my god. I've been actually trying to get one of the Azuki pendants for a while now, but yeah, people are diamond handing on me, and I don't appreciate it. Somebody needs to paper hand, bro. Like it's just like I got my brother to put in a bid on Undead, and like it's been like 2 weeks. They're not gonna take it, and it's like I might just have to do like a casting call and like give equity in the actual like part of that Twitter business that I have, and just give them equity to loan their clone until they reset my 50K limit per year that I'm allowed to buy crypto. I shouldn't have cashed out so much.
You could buy the Undead with the yellow afro, sir. I hear that one's aesthetically pleasing at an accessible price point.
Yeah, I think it's still running at 12 ETH is the last time that I saw it, but it's been a while since I looked that far up.
Yeah, I have enough of a problem with my IRL afro. I'm not doing that to myself digitally as well. You guys have seen my hair. I look homeless.
Dude, like you have the most epic
I wash it every day, okay? I wash it every day. It grows longer. It gets more grays. It's just like, and if I cut it, I'm just going to look like a child, and I can't do that to myself, so.
Kuro, the digital life is very different than the physical one. Ask Baron. He has a fro on his lizard.
It's the best feeling in the world.
By the way, congratulations on getting that lizard.
I thought you swapped up with the. I thought you swapped that.
No, he got it back.
I got it
again
this morning.
Again.
God is good to me, dude. I woke up.
Yo, how
I think
Man,
Rose
I
had
love
something
you,
to do
Baron.
with it.
What the fuck, bro?
I know. Don't ever look at my P&L. When you, I think so. Someone in the GNSS community had it, and this man had like you could tell he curated his collection. He had 5 DNAs, and my reptile was one of them. And I asked her like a month ago. I said, if you ever run into this guy, I can't message him on Twitter. Let him know. I'll buy it back for whatever. And this morning I saw it listed, and I was just popped right out of bed and made the purchase. So I'm going for one more, and then, well, one or two more. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. I don't know what pumped the floor today. Maybe just someone reset that wall, but there's definitely less and less clones out there, man. That's what I know.
Baron, is this the 5th time or 6th time that you bought that clone back?
Third, the way I remember it, but it could be more.
I feel like it's got to be more than that. But I'm honestly glad you got it back. Like, that clone is legit straight fire, man. Like, yeah.
Tebby, a really funny story is like, so I sent Rupsy all my files, and Rupsy sends me these thick renders of my clone in that reptile merch. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, I'm like stealing another guy's IP by telling. So I like didn't have the heart to tell Rupsy that the clone wasn't in my wallet anymore. So that's when I reached out to Jade like a month ago. And then I told Rupsy this morning. He said, I didn't even know you didn't own it. I'm like, well, I do now, brother.
That is the best story. I love how, like, yeah, you went full circle on that one. That's pretty damn cool. Like, you know what? I just can't do it. I gotta own it. That's proper, man. Like,
Well, everybody told me not to
yeah,
sell it, Tebby. Let's not. Like, this community served me well. I'm not a good listener. I need to learn on my own sometimes, a lot of times. But yeah, Jack and ETH were just begging me. They're like, dude, what are you doing? You already bought it back again. So anyways, that was a fun story of the week.
Baron, it feels like it was 6 times because we welcome it back and then we have to mourn its loss, So it's double whammy for us. I'm so glad that he posted it because he wasn't letting go of some Genesis either, because like you said, he curates them really, really well. And so it was talk of the within our community about the clone, him selling the clone, and I think he let go of a few other Genesis as well. So I think you inquiring about it kind of opened up the door for him to perhaps list a few and let go of some. So I'm glad it went back to you.
Yeah, he clearly cared. If you talk to him, tell him thank you. Because I have not been able to message him, but that means a lot to me. Which this is going to be so cool as this community grows, because this is going to happen more and more. Be like, thank you for trading me that clone. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it's cool. Just like linking people together and like help me find this person. It's all part of the fun for me.
And Rose, if you do talk to the person that just sold Baron his old clone back, just let him know that it's probably going to be up for sale in another 2 to 3 weeks or months. So he'll probably be able to get it back, and then he can even sell it back to Baron again another time at his own desired price point. So whoever sees Baron's clone up for sale next, just know that you're going to have a real good chance of getting it back, because we'll just hit up Rupsy. We'll be like, Rupsy, yo, we need another render that slaps and redefines what a reptile DNA drip can be. And that's just going to be all it takes.
I'm learning a lot about my psyche, because I like get these clones and then I sell them, and I'm like, okay, now the goal is to get them back. It's like, well, why'd you push them away? Why'd you push them away? So getting some insight into my relationships.
I mean, is that a healthy relationship though? Like,
No, it's a sick relationship.
I love this.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure most people in here didn't pick it up, but I love that you dropped the P&L corporate speak in here, and just like kept it moving, like super classy. Like, if people didn't pick up on that, I laughed internally here a lot when you're like, yeah, don't look at my P&L. I'm like, oh, snap.
We call that proper speak around here.
Yeah. I was,
Let your log into your P&L. I don't know. Oh my
man,
God.
that's proper.
Ugh.
And for anybody
So
who doesn't
everybody,
know, P&L, it's profit and losses. So the fact that he sold and bought multiple times, I'm assuming, was not a very profitable transaction. But all of this stuff is not based in always profit. It's all about
That guy made 2 ETH on my clone. 2 ETH from the guy he bought it from, to sold it back to. It's yeah, the guy made a great trade. He made an absolutely great trade.
So to Jack's point, if you ever see that that throwed up reptile, buy it, because you might very well make some money on it.
Here's a little
2 ETH flip.
Here's a little more alpha. If you're wallet watching Baron and you see him stray into another community, short it and tell all your friends to sell their shit that are in that community. Okay, until he gets out. And then when he gets out, then you tell your friends to get back in. It's just there's people in this space that'll tell you exactly what to do by doing the opposite of them. I am one of those people, except for Artifact. I'm a max minter, and I may lose a little money in the process, but this is I had to go explore other parts of the rainbow and realize this is exactly where I needed to be. So that process was worth it.
Glad you're back, Baron. I'm glad you have your reptile with the fro. I'm probably the most glad that out of all the reptiles in this ecosystem, Rupsy chose to model the Baron's reptile and Etholorian's reptile as the two most raw reptiles in the collection that got to rock the Rupsy banks. Oh!
I go, when are we going to print? When are we going to print? I'll send you the check, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I just can't wait to get it out. I know it won't be like Synamine. He's going to be perfect when he rolls it out. His stuff is so fire. I just want to get some shirts on the out there to the people.
100%. Guys, on that topic, I can go for about another 5 minutes. Dre Millie running bad take in about 5. I want to be respectful, get the people out of here in 2 hours. That way we also keep the recording presentable. We hit the floor price talk after an hour and 48 minutes. That's actually pretty good. So nice job, Baron, on that one. You picked up for Hemi. We appreciate it, though. That was great discussion, everybody. I want to just shout out Rupsy and what he's doing with relics. I don't know if I'm saying that right, bro, but I know the spelling on it, RELIX. It's sick. All of your tweets, by the way, are filtered out because they include sensitive content, because your drip goes too hard, sir. On this account, I can see him perfectly fine on my alt. But with that note, I want to plug the website, the Clonespiracys website. I want to encourage people to sign up for the newsletter, because that is something that Gemini will be putting a significant amount of time and effort into in order to do it justice and to highlight the creators who are the vision of this ecosystem. Thank you, everybody, for the space. Let's take a minute. Let's hit a reset. We're going to run it back this time every Monday. 12 hours approximately from the time this thing started. In the reverse, follow that because it's easy. In the morning on Friday, 6:45, because I need to sleep a little bit. Typically 6:45 in the morning, Central Standard Time. Finish it, Baron.
Dude, just wanted to shout out to Spectre for coming up. We need more people that are willing to realize that this is a safe place. Welcome home. Get up here. Share. Dude, we love it. Dosh is up here. He's going to teach us more about Pokemon than I need to know, but I want to know more. Cook, thanks for being you, man. Like, I appreciate all the time that you've put into the website. Gem is amazing. And I just, this thing is going the right way, man. It's, I'm excited to be here. Wearing this merch brings it to a whole, these garments, these luxury garments. It's not merch, man. What the fuck am I
Thank you for correcting yourself.
Wearing these luxury garments is like, it makes you feel different. I'll speak for myself. It makes me feel different. When I put on something Artifact, I can tell it's Artifact. It's not like I grabbed this other T-shirt out of the drawer by accident. You know what I mean? It's different, and hard work pays off.